Hey guys, welcome back. This is the Relax Running Podcast. Tyson here. The guest on the show today is 1500 metre star Jordan Williamsz. He's fresh back from a 10k Burnie win. He finished that in 29:05 with a ridiculous sprint finish. Great effort for a 1500 metre bloke. Awesome conversation I have with this guy today. Jordy's he's an all-round good fella. He's filled with great information, some good stories. Jordy's a mate of mine, and as a result, this conversation, we take a few tangents away from running. It's a good chance to get to know the man that you see sprinting around the track at your meets all around the world. So I had a ball with Jordy. This is a great conversation. I know you get a lot out of it. So let me get out of your way and introduce to you Jordan Williamsz. Mate, I'm trying to figure out when the last time I saw you was. I think it would have been
Falls, yeah, but before that, I couldn't even tell you, like 5 or 6 years ago.
The reason I remember so clearly is because I was going to surprise you with this one. I've already told you, but for the audience, so I was up there playing pool with a couple of my mates in Joel Birmingham, and saw your good-looking little head just sitting on the couch after a run. And I remember we left the bar, and my wife Jessie, she goes to me, she goes, "That's Jordan Williamsz, yeah?" I go, yeah. She goes, "Mate, he's the best looking distance runner." I go, "Babe, you know I still class myself as a distance runner, don't you?" She reckons you still got me. So that's how bloody you're remembering my wife's mind, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, you're lucky she's not around.
Why do you think I planned this today? Why do you reckon I planned this today?
You're gonna spend the day out of the house, mate.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Mate, 10k king.
Yeah, no, it's been a good week, good 8 days or whatever it was. Yeah. It was good in Melbourne. Melbourne was just sort of a tester, and then I was sort of targeting Burnie a bit more.
Did you race? I haven't even looked at the Melbourne Marathon results. What,
I ran the 10k, yeah.
So tell me what happened.
Well, I'll give you a bit of backstory first. So most years when I come back from Europe, I've tried to do a couple of 10Ks and they've never really worked out just because training's not quite there and, you know, it's a bit over distance for me. So I always find it a bit harder than the usual 10K kind of guys. But, so came back from Europe this year. I spent a lot of the year injured anyway, so I sort of didn't really have a break because I pretty much had 3 months out anyway. So the fitness level was high and I got going in this first one. I've only really run 30 minutes, 30 seconds sort of thing.
Yeah.
29:30 in the first one at Melbourne, which is, it's not a great course. So
did you run 29:30 at Melbourne?
Yeah, so I was pretty happy with that. And then back it up a week later, around 29:05, so it was good. It was a little windy and stuff down in Burnie, but yeah, just was going for the win mostly. So
how did the race pan out? Because I honestly, I back you as a runner. I know you.
Yeah.
Mate, you look in trim as well. I remember you as a stocky bloke. I thought you were stocky and just quick. You've leaned up. So I would have had you picked 100% over 1500. Like I'd go, yeah, Jordy takes that any day of the week. But they had some solid names in there. Like outsprinted Buchanan, and I know like Liam had finished up a marathon a couple of weeks earlier or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was still like I was pleasantly surprised to see your name at the top of it. Was that a surprise for you to win a 10k against the boys that you're up against? Yeah,
like I said before, I was pretty confident. Like you sort of got to go into these things thinking you can win. Otherwise, you know, you're sort of already a step behind. So I thought I could win, but I knew it would be pretty tough.
Yeah.
And I think the way it worked out, the course sort of. You just go straight down this road, 5k, turn around and come back. So it was a tailwind all the way out.
Yeah.
We were pretty quick. We played 14:20 through halfway. Then when we turned around, it was a headwind.
Mm-hmm.
And Jack Bruce, he's probably the form guy at the moment. He was trying to drop us in the first half, and then when we turned around into the headwind, it slowed up just enough, and he had everyone sitting on him. So like I'm sort of feeling. Between two minds, you're feeling a bit guilty because he's in Melbourne Track Club as well, so I'm feeling guilty. I'm like, mate, he's out the front there sitting duck, but at the same time I'm thinking like, it's in my best interest to just stay where I am. So I just sat on him pretty much until 400 to go. And
so nice. So what? So who were you tucked in with?
It was Jack Bruce was leading. He pretty much led 9.5k.
So what had did he when you said?
He was just in front of us. He wasn't like out in front of us or anything. He was just sort of leading the pack.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was sort of, there's 7 guys with 400 metres to go, I think they said. So you sort of take off up a hill with 400 to go, and I've taken off, but definitely way too early. I would never ever kick with a lap to go in a 1500 or anything. But I don't know what went over me, but took off up the hill and got probably 10 metres out in front, and then I sort of get about 100 metres from home, and I'm thinking, I'm not going to make it. And then just hung on. Andy Buchanan came flying out of the pack, and a few guys came back at me, but hung on by 0.2. So.
Oh, bro, yeah, because I looked at the results, and it had you guys separated by a second, but it had no milliseconds.
Yeah.
And then I saw the review online, the footage online of the last 100 metres.
Yeah.
And mate, it looked intense. But I was impressed with Jack Davies' run as well.
Yeah. No, he's really had a great year so far, and I think he'll keep getting better. He jumps in with us sort of on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
At training. He's coached by Tim.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Sorry about this noise. The audience can hear that. I'm doing my best to block it out. Some bloke on the floor above me is renovating his house, I'm pretty sure. So he's kicked us out of the usual podcast studio, and we're still copping his drills.
Yeah. Oh, well, you can't win them all, can you?
So what did you say? Yeah, so Jack's coached by
Tim O'Shaughnessy now.
Okay.
So they jump in with our group a lot when we're all in Melbourne and stuff. So, like, he's been training really well, and I think he's working pretty much. I think he's full time now.
Jeez.
But he does shift work, so he sort of runs as much as he can, and sort of probably taking a bit of a step back and a bit more relaxed approach. And he's actually improved a lot. So.
Yeah, because
that was probably a minute PB for him as well. He wouldn't have been much under 30 minutes, and he's run 29:07 or something. So.
Well, I had no idea what kind of form he was in, because he was so I ran around with him and Stu, and those boys were about 14. Yeah. And like, I know Jack had, just as I was finishing up, he had started pumping, and I had a couple of sessions with him towards the end of my running, and he was sticking it to me. And I was doing my best to try and play it cool, pretend I was truly in control, but I was thinking, shit, like, this guy's pumping. But then did he have a couple of years of injuries?
Yeah, he was injured for a while. I think he had trouble with an Achilles and might have had a stress fracture as well in there. But yeah, he's really turned the corner lately and going really well.
Yeah, it's good. So what does that mean for you then, man? Like with a couple of nice 10K runs up your sleeve, is that something, like, would you be interested in stepping up the distance a bit, or what do you think?
Nah, no chance. In that race, there's a few times where I was like, right on the limit, and I was like, if we go any faster here, that might be the end of me. But luckily we never did. So yeah, I don't see myself really moving up at all. But I've run Zatopek a couple of times in the 10K, but just pacing to help out. So I'm probably going to do that again this year, because I think Pat Tiernan wants to have a go at a quick run, so I'll try and help him out as best I can.
Sweet.
See if I can get to 4K or something.
Actually, I remember, I reckon I was watching it. Did you pace it last year?
Yeah.
And I remember seeing you went through like 13:50.
Oh yeah, that killed me. That was so hard. Yeah.
I remember thinking, like, that is an incredible run for you, because I always thought of you as sort of 8:15.
Yeah.
So when I saw you pace, I thought, maybe like 5 or 6 laps you'll get around in.
Yeah.
And then I saw you at 4K and still ticking away, thinking, shit, like, this guy's going to have to step up the distance.
Yeah, it gave me a whole lot of respect for the 5K guys, because, I'm thinking, 13:50 pace, I'll be able to go for 5, maybe 6K or whatever. But I barely I just got to 5K. Took everything, and then so I don't think I see myself stepping up anytime soon.
Mate, my fastest ever 5K was, I reckon I was 22, and I reckon I ran one good one. I was running around with Nate Hardigan. And he, bloody, I hate admitting it, but he outkicked me. And he outkicked me. And he ran 14:23, I ran 14:24, and I reckon I was living in Ballarat at that stage, and I reckon
he would have let you know
about it.
Mate,
he let me know about it, and I tried to play it cool. But I remember every time we would go out with to do like what's that? It's like a fartlek run when you do your 8x400 with your 200 float.
Oh, quarters.
Yeah. He kept going to me, that shows how long I've been out of the game. He kept going to me, he's like, mate, make sure you're within range with a lap to go, because he goes, I can outkick you. And I'm like, bloody, like with a 1500 man outsprint me, I could cope, but bloody Nate Hardigan with his marathon legs.
Yeah, well, sometimes the strength you get from that over distance is a bit underrated. I was trying to tell the guys, like, even though I won on Sunday, when you got a 1500 guy running 10K, it's sort of, the speed's out the window to some degree, because they're just tired.
Yeah.
They're just tired. It's different engine.
It's a good point. Actually, when I was playing a bit of footy, like at the end of the game, people come up to me like, mate, your speed's incredible. Yeah. I'm like, no, it's really not. I'm just fit. I'm just fit, so I could probably just maintain like a high level of speed. That's a good point.
Yeah.
You guys, but O's Crew's got a bit of a reputation for putting in the long work as well, don't they? Like, you guys clock up some pretty solid Ks all through the year.
Yeah, pretty much. I think most of the time I'll be at 140, 150 sort of kilometres a week in that area. But if I'm at Falls and a good training camp where I get lots of downtime to rest and stuff, it might be 160.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And is that true for people who are sort of running 8s and 15s like yourself, and for Stewie who's running the longer stuff?
Stewie probably does a little more. Like, say we're at Falls, Stewie probably does 170.
Jeez.
But yeah, pretty much. We don't really have as many sort of pure 800 guys. We've got a couple of 800 girls, but there'd be a little less mileage. I'd say if we had a true 800 metre runner as a guy, they'd probably be doing 120, 130k, which is a lot for a 800 runner.
Yeah. So with 140k, so how do you structure that week of training?
Pretty much Monday, Wednesday, Friday, just an hour in the morning, and then 30 minutes in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Friday, not always half an hour in the afternoon, just see how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Tuesday we have a session either at the Tan, but then when it comes to sort of track season, we're at Waverley, the grass track there, so we'll do anywhere between 8 and 9 kilometres worth of reps, and then Thursday a threshold run, so you run for about half an hour at sort of a good pace, but not lightning. And we do that on Thursday at Caulfield Racecourse, and Saturday Wattle Park we do some sort of hill reps. So anywhere between 60-second hills to 3 minutes, and sort of a up and down hilly course, and a bit of threshold in there sometimes. Just depends.
And is that pretty much, did you say, the same all year round? Unless you go up to
pretty much Falls. It's similar again at Falls. And obviously the Sunday long run. And then at Falls, pretty much the same thing. Like Tuesday K reps, Thursday we do quarters.
Yes.
And a little bit of threshold as well, and then Saturday hill reps. So pretty much stays the same wherever we are. Just when you start racing, it gets a little different, just because you got to taper for each race.
Yeah. So did you taper for your Burnie 10 race last weekend?
A little bit, not too much. I didn't taper for Melbourne, and then for Burnie, I just did, instead of like half an hour of threshold, I probably did 20-25 minutes of threshold
on the
Thursday, and then just I hope it looks good when he's done.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to do
pressure.
Yeah, seriously, I'm going to be editing the crap out of that. So these guys won't even know what we're talking about. Yeah, okay. So you tape it a little bit, and then after, was it Saturday or Sunday?
Sunday race. So I'll just do a normal hour run on the Friday, and then sort of maybe 30 or 40 minutes on the Saturday.
Yeah, sure. And what are we at now? Tuesday. So how's the legs feeling?
Yeah, not too bad. I actually don't get too sore after races, but I've been wearing those new Next Percents, like the new Nike shoes that sort of give you a big advantage.
Yes.
So they say, but they really make my hamstrings sore.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. Like, I think they really work a bit, because I feel like my hamstrings would only get sore if I'm taking a longer stride.
Yeah, okay.
I think they sort of give you that little bit. It might only be, tiny bit, but, for a sport where you're so, repetitive in your action, your mechanics, if you're slightly out, you'll know about it through some soreness or. So I had to take it pretty easy in the gym yesterday, because I just didn't want to, make anything worse than it needed to be. But I definitely could have been sore because of the shoes, I think. Yeah.
So what's the man? I can't keep up at the moment. I feel like as well. There's so much talk around the bloody Vaporflies or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
So what's the story with the shoes that you've got now?
So the shoes that I got are sort of the next one after the Vaporfly. So
the pink ones.
They are the pink ones, but I got them in green. Sort of like bright green,
like more manly option.
Yeah, I don't know how I'd go rocking the pink ones. But that's sort of like everyone's jumped on them at the moment. So they're pretty good. I think they work for me. So
mate, I'm gonna have to get some, because I went for a run with Jordan Williamsz and Craig Huffer this morning.
Yeah,
and they had a massive session last night. So I thought, there's no worries at all. And then we got down there, and they weren't running that fast, but I was thinking, bloody hell, like, I've been out of the game for a little while now.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed you haven't commented on the size of my pecs and biceps, actually, because I've been just too busy being in the gym.
Yeah, I didn't want to do it to you, mate.
So it was a little bit humbling. So I'm gonna have to get a bloody pair of these to help me along.
I'll help. Definitely.
Yeah, nice, mate. Nike's is loving the. Are you a Nike boy?
Yeah,
Obviously,
I was sponsored by Nike, so I've probably been with them for
I thought that's
3 years.
Because the triangle on your shirt.
ACG, it's like a branch of Nike. But yeah, I've been with them for 3 years now, so yeah, pretty good. They look after me.
Yeah, that's good. So is that with gear, or is that like they give you income and stuff?
Yeah, get paid from them. So
how do you just get paid to run?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's unreal.
I mean, I'm pretty lucky. Like, just with Nike, it allows me to sort of travel around a bit, and it's not free going overseas and racing, so it allows me to do it, which is really good.
Yeah,
there's not really the opportunities in Australia, so there's no there's a little bit of funding, but not as much as Nike are willing to give an athlete. So
how does that work with is that under because isn't it there's like a Nike Australia and then there's international Nike?
Yeah,
is that right? So
a
lot of those guys are looked after by Nike, aren't they? Like I see Stewie and Gregson. And,
so we're all sort of under Nike.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. I think everyone is actually. And then, it's just through Nike Australia. We've got our guy that looks after us, George Lawler.
George Lawler?
He's a good man, yeah.
Mate, all
Just
right.
sent me out a couple pairs of shoes. He's a good man.
George, send me a couple. George. I'll do you for send me some of those vapor flight. What are they?
The Next Percent.
I don't deserve them. Honestly, don't send them to me. I don't deserve them right now.
Wear them in the gym.
Yeah. But it's just desserts bit. Like I remember, mate, how old are you now?
27.
27. I reckon.
Yeah.
I remember you when you just started pelting around on the scene as like a 16-year-old. You got looked after pretty early as well, didn't you? Because I remember you started busting out some big times real quick. But have you trimmed up, man? Like, what's the story? I can't help but you look like a.
Oh yeah.
you look bloody fit as a fiddle.
Yeah. I sort of I don't know. I was definitely like a little stockier little kid. Everyone used to let me know about that.
You still kicked my ass when it didn't matter.
Yeah. You would have had me a few times, surely.
Maybe like if the distance was over 10. I wouldn't say no longer 10. Yeah. I hope there's a couple of races with my name ahead of yours, but unfortunately, I think it could have been.
There would be, surely.
Yeah, we'll just go with that. No one Googled that. No one Googled that.
Nike helped me out when I was pretty young, probably 16. I got my first pair of shoes from them. It was actually from George as well, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah, same
So
guy.
You've been around for a while.
There's been one or two between him, but yeah, full circle sort of thing. It's pretty cool. Yeah, so.
Bloody hell, man.
He's given me my first pair and my last pair today.
Yeah, beautiful.
It's pretty cool.
So how is that? Did Bedeau connect you with him?
Yeah, so Nick just sort of. I was training a lot with Jeff Risley, who was working with Nick at the time and sponsored by Nike, and Kayla McKnight as well.
Yes, that's a name.
She was Nike in her early days, so just because I was training with them a lot and young guy showing a bit of potential, I think. Well, they seem to think so anyway. So they helped me out with a few pair of shoes, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, sweet, man. So I'm sorry, I keep pushing on this, but is the fitness that you look like a greyhound? Is that something have you done that deliberately, like you've trimmed up, or is that just as a result of putting in the work?
I think that's just putting in the work. I went to college for 4 years in America, and I probably put on a bit of weight there, and then ever since I left America, I've sort of trimmed down a lot, and that's just a result of running a bit more. And I think not being in the winters as well. Because I felt like in the winters over in America, I used to just stack on the weight if I wasn't careful. Yeah, it's just freezing cold. There's nothing to do. You can't you're not walking around during the day. Whereas you come here to beautiful Australia, spend some time outside, and hang out. So it's a bit easier. Yeah, for sure. I'm laughing because I remember in 2010 I went to World Uni Cross Country Champs in Kingston in Canada. Yeah, and they had I think it was Queen's University or something, and we walked in. And mate, it was like a movie scene to me. So they had a massive big buffet, and this is one of my first overseas trips. They had you had your pizza and your ice cream, and I had a race in a week's time. And mate, the amount of food that I ate, I reckon I ran that race with an extra sort of 10 kilos up my sleeve. Not that much, but I reckon I definitely got a kilo or two. Because I was gone for it. Americans, they know how to eat, especially on the college campuses, hey? Yeah, so at Villanova especially. I know what it's like. The dining hall is the biggest trap ever. But at Villanova especially, they're like famous for having like one of the best dining halls in all of colleges in America.
Yeah.
So it's just so dangerous. So dangerous. But like, yeah, heaps of people. They had this thing called the Freshman 15 where it's like all the people that, because it's their first time out of home, a lot of people, so they just smash the, no one's there telling you, oh, you probably shouldn't eat that, or, there's kids eating pizza for breakfast with chocolate milk, and like, it's ridiculous, yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. So that's right, you were, I can't remember where we were. I remember racing you in we had some like team relay just before you went to Villanova.
Colin, maybe something like that, or
maybe. I'm trying to remember. How old were you? Were you like 18 when you went away there?
18 or 19, yeah.
Mate, that time's flown by.
Yeah, I know.
So how long have you been back for now then?
Came back and finished 2016, so yeah.
Bloody
3.5 years. 3.5 years, yeah.
Yeah, so you got no plans to, I was speaking to Huff this morning actually, and one of the things he said to me, which was interesting, was he's like, oh, I'm done with he's been unlucky with injury and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I'm done with like long-term overseas travel. Because I forgot, I just love how good Australia is. It's nice to be back here, and it's like even just traveling interstate. It's like I just love Melbourne. Like, how do you find traveling?
Yeah, I mean, I'm used to it. I sort of look at it. I don't know. I don't even really think about traveling too much. I mean, I love Melbourne. I definitely want to, pull up stumps here. It's the best place. But I just see it as part of what you got to do to be a good runner. I know it's annoying sometimes, and like you got to be as positive as you can, because if you really in a bad headspace about going somewhere, usually it all head south pretty quick. You don't end up running too well, or you have a bad training camp or whatever it is. So yeah, it's just part of it. I don't even think about it really.
Yeah, okay.
My cousin calls it teleporting. When he goes overseas, he just goes to sleep, wakes up in the destination, he's just there. So
because it's different for a runner. It's not like one of the things that surprised me was when I started to hear people being like, "Oh, it's not the same when you travel as a distance runner. It's not like you're going away just to look at all the sites and just experience the culture for exactly what it is. You pretty much you're there to race or train, or so a lot of the time spent in a hotel room. Is that right?
Yeah, definitely. Like it is and it isn't. Like I've one page from filling up my passport with stamps right now, so I'm pretty happy with that. But I'd say of all the places I've been to, I've probably seen half of them. So like some places I like have been around a lot and get around really well. Like I've spent so much time in London and heaps of time in Spain. Not so much the big cities in Spain, but like small country towns in Spain, and really enjoy those. Like obviously Philly, I know really well. New York,
yeah,
place like that. But sometimes you just go to a place and like you don't even see anything.
Yeah,
like I've been to Japan a few times. Couldn't tell you anything.
Is that right? That's one place I really want to go.
Yeah, and there's a few places where like Oslo, and I've been to Norway a few times. Yeah, just hotel, track, hotel, airport, home, sort of.
Have you had a chance to have you travelled much around Europe outside of your running yet, or is that something?
No, not really.
Not really. Maybe post career.
Yeah, it's just you sort of when you go to a race, you're there. It's pretty much 2 days, or 2 or 3 days. You like leave the day before, get to the hotel usually, and it's late in the day. Yeah. Race the next day, so you're not doing much, and then you leave the next morning. So it's not super glamorous, but yeah, sometimes you might get lucky and get a whole day in a place. Like we got a whole day this year in Switzerland in a place called Bern.
Oh yeah,
and it was like such a fun day because you really appreciate it a bit more when you know usually you're not going to have that day to hang out. So
yeah,
and there was a big group of us, so we went on a big long run along this the bluest river you've ever seen, weaving through the Swiss countryside, and then we spent the rest of the day. We went swimming in the river, and there's just hundreds of people swimming in the river. I was had a pizza and a couple of beers. I think it was Jen's birthday. Yeah, Jen LeCase's birthday. Yeah, sorry, Jen LeCase. She corrects me every time. It's Jen Gregson now. I don't even need to worry about it.
How easy is that? It's so funny. It's like Jess Tringo.
Yeah.
I've got it's Jess Stenson now.
Yeah.
But it's not have the same ring to it. You know what I mean? It'd always be Jen. What is it? Jen LeCase.
LeCase, but now she's Gregson. I don't know how it'd be kind of weird, like having your name for your whole life and then boom, it's changed.
Seriously,
Yeah.
how are people going to find her on Insta? You have to leave it there.
I think she's Gregson in some things and Lacar's in others. I'm not. I don't even think she knows half the time. When we went to Burnie the other day, they booked her as Jen Gregson for the flight, and she gets to the desk, and her name on her passport is Lacar's.
Yeah.
So like they're not going to let her on the plane, and like it's always.
Oh really?
Yeah. Luckily, they rebooked her a ticket and organised it, sorted it out before the plane took off. But yeah,
how'd they do it?
She was
what happened
stressing
there?
out.
No, you would be. I've been
Yeah.
stressed for her just hearing about it.
Yeah.
So what's the story? What happened to her? She was
So her legal name is Lacar still, but
okay.
I think everyone, like Nick, will call her Gregson.
Yes.
Or maybe her some things it's changed, like on her maybe her Instagram's changed and stuff like that. So she got entered in this race the other day as Jen Gregson,
Yes.
and they booked her flights as Jen Gregson, but her passport, she doesn't have any ID that says Gregson. It says Lacar, so she had to do a quick change of her flights. I think it was pretty stressful.
Far out. I can't imagine the big dog Ryan standing for too much of that. I don't know the guy, but he seems like a Grego. What is he? Yeah, you can tell I don't know because I called him Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Grego when I'm.
Yeah.
Well, so you're like, are they both part of MTC as well?
Yeah.
Dude, that'd be weird, I reckon, training with your wife or your husband. My wife,
They're pretty good. They're pretty good. Like they're probably about as professional as it gets.
I get that vibe. Yeah.
Like, there's no shenanigans. No problem.
I'd be so bad if I trained with my wife. I'd always be slapping her on the bum, and you
Yeah.
can't say that anymore. I'm not going to delete it. I'm going to learn the hard way.
Yeah.
But they play pretty cool, do they?
Yeah, they're fine. They're really good. Like, I think maybe I wasn't around, but like maybe they would have learned the hard way when they first started hanging out or something, because I was still in college, so I didn't know. But
Dude, I remember
ever since I've been there, they've been like the ultimate professionals.
Mate, I remember Big Grego when he. I can't remember what year it was. Was it 2012 that Jen qualified for?
Oh yeah.
And she had some I don't know what happened, but it was like a last minute.
Yeah.
Or she almost wasn't going to get the gig because she just missed the qualifying period or something.
Yeah. So in 2012 they, it's actually a pretty good story. Athletics Australia made their own qualifying period, and then the Olympic Committee, which sort of governs the whole thing, had a different date, a later date. So it was when she ran the qualifier, it was after Athletics Australia's date, but before the IOC date. So as far as the Olympics are concerned, she should be going.
Yeah.
Right, because she's qualified, but Athletics Australia said they're not going to pick her because it was after their date, which is just, I don't even know why they made a date different to the IOC anyway. So, yeah, so they didn't pick her, and then it was the chairman of the IOC or something got involved, and it was this big hectic thing. She was on the news everywhere, but eventually they got her in. So
that was so good. Well, I remember. I feel like just the general public started to, because it was a fairly big media story, the athletic scene.
Yeah,
and it was making some mainstream news. I remember sitting at the airport and just seeing this pretty blonde girl on the TV, and I thought, what's this about? And then I saw it was a steeplechase, so I thought, far out.
Yeah.
And then everyone started to talk about come on, let her on, get her in.
Yeah, well, and it's you can't say that maybe if she didn't make that Olympics, that might have been it for her. Maybe she's missed the Olympics, probably not going to run as much anymore. And she's probably been arguably one of the best distance athletes Australia's had ever.
Well, she's got the steeplechase record.
She's Olympic finalist in the steeple and 5K. Mate. So you turn a young athlete away early, and you can't tell me that wouldn't be the margin call on their career. Could have been.
Seriously.
Maybe including her has kept her going and helped her reach such great heights.
Dude, tell her I want her on the podcast. I messaged her on Facebook the other day. I don't know her.
Yeah.
I said, hey Jen, I can imagine there'd be a heap of creepy blokes that shoot her a message. So tell her, look at the one from Tyson.
Yeah.
If you're listening, Jen, come and jump on. Because I'm going to get, mate, I'm doing my best. I just want to.
We should get both of them.
I'll get the double, mate. I'll be out of my depth.
Yeah.
Seriously, I'd be too much of a fanboy the whole time. Just go teach me what I need to learn.
Yeah.
The reason I brought up the Jen story was because I remember Big Grego. I reckon he started laying foundations real early. Like when her name started being announced, I started to hear stories of him back in the day that he had a little crush on her or whatever. And next thing I knew, I was like, mate, he sealed the deal in terms of like they were going out.
Yeah.
I thought, far out. Like this guy, he obviously runs with confidence, but he obviously operates his life with confidence as well because like I hope he doesn't mind me saying, and I'm in the same boat. Like we're both batting way out of our league.
Yeah. No, Grego is.
Yeah, it's so good.
Jen's a good girl. But no, Grego's a good bloke. I got a lot of time for Grego. He's really helped me out in the last few years. But yeah, I think I wasn't around. I was in college when they first met and stuff like that. But I think he was trying pretty hard, opening the car doors and stuff like that. Being a gentleman.
Classic.
Not like him.
No, mate, it's not like me either. I didn't hold it. Yeah. I remember my first date with Jessie was I went into the city and because I asked her out about 2 years before we got together.
Yeah.
And I say I asked her out because I don't want to tell you I left like a teddy bear with like a card.
I won't tell anyone.
Thanks, bro. And anyway, she found out it was me, which is just such a creepy stalker story, which I'm embarrassed to admit. But I remember on MySpace, I got home, I was up in Ballarat, and she messaged me, she's like, dude, I'm just not interested in you at all.
Oh, no.
So I was like, oh, bro, this is brutal. And then her mum had my back. She goes, mate, like, she's young. She doesn't know what she's doing yet. Come around to our house for dinner all the time. I always joke that if things didn't work out with me and Jess, like me and her mum would have been fine.
Get on like a house.
But, so like when eventually she came around, I thought, man, I'm going to have to deliver.
Yeah.
Like our first date was so over the top. It was like a horse and cart.
You tux.
Yeah. Dude, it was the best date I've ever had. Like that was in 2011.
All downhill since.
Seriously, this is why she's not here because she would have too much to say. But mate, you've got a little lady on the go, hey?
Yep.
Hello.
Sarah. Yeah,
what's your story there?
Yeah, we've
there'd be a lot of disappointed ladies in Australia to hear that.
Not too many. Yeah. No, we've been going out for a couple, nearly coming up in 2 years, so it'll be 2 years at Christmas. So she's pretty good.
What's the story there? What she says she's not a runner?
No, she's a runner. She's in the group. Sort of joined more recently. She's a great chick.
Awesome, man. Is she? I feel like that you're giving me the nod behind the mic. Let's move on.
Nah.
What distance does she run?
She does 800, but she's moved up to probably 8:15 now. So
nice, man.
Yeah, she ran 2:04.
Oh, far out.
2:03, 2:04.
Wait, Sarah who?
Billings?
Dude.
Yeah.
I thought you meant she's just some social runner.
No. She's a good runner.
Holy crap, bro. That's
very good. World Juniors and stuff. Yeah.
Dude. Okay, excuse me. Honestly, I have to lift my game when it comes to running. I've got so many mates like yourself who are in the running scene that I've sort of connected with. I'm like, fire, I'm doing a disservice at least not having to sit down and chat to these guys for anyone who's interested. But honestly, I need to get back on board with running results. With the with MTC, like how are the dynamics, man? Because it's on the outside, obviously it's a sick group, like it's incredible. Yeah. But you just mentioned then, like you and Gregor are pretty. What? Is he about 2 years older than you?
Yeah.
So I can imagine it'd be like I'm sure you wouldn't like me talking about this, but I've seen you getting me a couple of races as well the last couple of years that I can imagine adds a little bit of attention to training and stuff, does it? Or how do you guys deal with that?
You think that, but not really. It's like I said, he's like such a professional. So when we're on the track, it's like very competitive. Like he's not my mate on the for 3.5 minutes or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't think he's gonna like go out of his way to like bowl me over or anything. But like he's very competitive and like so am I. I think that's just the nature of it. But yeah, like straight after the race, he's the first person to come over and shake your hand and like we've raced together a lot the last few years, so we always go for our warm downs and stuff and dissect the race. And if I'm venting, he's a great ear for me to bounce some things off, and I'm sure likewise for him.
Yeah.
So yeah, like he's probably been the biggest influence in my running career.
Is that right?
Yeah.
In what sense? Like what's he done that's sort of?
So probably in the first, like obviously Jeff Risley helped me out a lot when I was young, but then I didn't see too much of him when I came back from college just because he wasn't with Nick anymore. So it sort of makes things a bit difficult just logistically. And then, so probably 2017, I looked up to Gregor a lot, and then sort of 2018 we started. It was a bit more like mutual rather than me just following him around. So
Yeah, sure.
it was more like we worked together a bit more in 2018, 2019. But yeah, like he's definitely been probably the biggest influence on my, excluding Nick, obviously. Nick's
sure.
probably number one, but yeah, well, athlete.
Yeah.
Athlete influence.
Yeah,
like
okay.
Gregor and Carlos and Jeff. Yeah.
Yeah, sweet. What's like what I've actually heard that from quite a few people that he's just the ultimate professional.
Yeah.
Gregor, and I'm interested to know. So when you're speaking about a professional athlete,
yeah.
Like what are the things that have sort of that you've looked at from him that have sort of rubbed off on you?
He's got a really good way of always like seeing things like level, like with a level head, and he can put running first, but not in like a obsessive way. Like he always puts it first. And if ever like I need to ask him something like I'm having this problem like with like if my calf's sore. He's had all the injuries as well. If something's sore, like he'll tell you how to manage it. If I need some help in the gym, he'll just tell me what to do. If like I'm in a bit of a flat spot mentally or whatever, he'll pick me back up. Like he's just everything. Like anything. If I have trouble with Sarah, he usually helps me out. If he's doing a nudge in the right direction, like whatever. Like he's a great guy. I probably haven't spoken to him in a little while, so
I might
shoot him a text, but
like after listening to 5 minutes of this, he'll be 100% back on board. That's right. I've just told everyone that Gregor listens to this podcast. I don't even know if that's true.
Yeah. We'll make it.
Yeah, so get him on board. Get him on as well. Honestly, I'll do it if that's the way to get him and the Gregsons on. Yeah, I'll take it.
I'll strong arm him.
So what kind of stuff are you doing in the gym?
So I am in the VIS. So I have a coach through that, and twice a week I do gym work. So yeah, it's pretty.
It looks like at least 4 times a week. Look at that.
Thanks. Yeah. So. My coach's name is Corey Innes. He's really good. He used to run a bit, so he's a 400 runner, so he really understands the sport, which is huge help. Because sometimes I've had people help me out in the gym that don't know much about running, so it's sort of a bit more challenging. But yeah, he's really good, and I think I've improved a lot. It's like I really like going to the gym because you can get gains in areas you're not that strong in. Like obviously coming from nothing, you see a lot of improvement in a year or two, which actually helps a lot because in running, sometimes like the time on the watch isn't really reflective of improvement. So it's good to improve in other areas. So that's one that I've really enjoyed putting into my running the last few years. I never did it before 2017. So
yeah, it's funny actually because it's one thing that I think a lot of people who are new to the sport, and like a lot of the audience here is not necessarily elite level runners, but people who are just finding their way into maybe their first marathon or people who are just doing their best to improve their times. And I think one thing that gets them by surprise is to be a better runner. It's not just all running.
Yeah.
Like obviously the big things like recovery are huge, and but I think gym always seems to get people by surprise when we speak about the fact that it's an important role, like to injury prevention, to strength and maintenance. But like walk us through a couple of the exercises that you do in the gym.
So I pretty much started off very basic, like sort of just your back squat, your deadlift, sort of.
Yeah. You mean with the bar behind your head?
Behind my head, yeah. Like I lift like weights and stuff. Like front squat, back squat, sort of. I pretty much do a glute and quad exercise, a calf exercise, and a hammy exercise.
Yeah.
Just different variations like Romanian deadlifts, like seated calf raise, standing calf raise, back squat, snatch, cleans, like all that stuff. So just rotates through. But yeah, I think I'm getting a lot better and more advanced. I do some quite different exercises now, which I wouldn't have dreamed about doing, a year ago. So, and it's very important. Like I couldn't stress gym enough for, especially like a sort of 1500 guy where I do need a bit of power, but also if you're a longer distance runner, if you can manage it, it's always the most important thing if you're doing a marathon is the actual running. But you can definitely improve your running economy, and which helps with recovery, helps with everything really through gym. Like good technique, good everything like that.
Is that something that you work on, things like that with plyometrics and technique drills? And
yeah, I was doing plyometrics for a bit at the start of the year, but I think I had a pretty bad injury in the year. I had to have 2.5 months off, and I don't know if it was from plyometrics, but it was sort of when I started adding in plyometrics that it sort of flared up. So I don't know, not necessarily correlation is the cause, but that was the only thing that really changed. So, but yeah, we do on Monday. I do some hurdle walkovers, which is really good for your sort of hip flexor and glute strength, and some strides. So I'll do basically 4 or 5 by 100 meters flat out, and really think about your technique and stuff like that. And then obviously the gym's all helping towards technique.
So what happened to you earlier in the year? 2.5 months is a fair whack.
So I was over at Falls earlier in the year in January. I went over on a rock and sort of when you roll your ankle, everything sort of grabs real quick.
Yep.
And it felt like it grabbed in my groin area.
Yeah.
It sounds weird, but I don't know. It sort of felt got real tense in my groin, and then sort of my hip almost, my right hip, and then I sort of took it easy for a couple of days, and then they had a physio up there luckily, and he said, just don't worry about it. And then it sort of got to about 99%, pretty soon after, but it was always sort of just there a tiny bit, and then it was okay. I could get through everything. I was racing pretty well still, and then I went over for indoors for a month in February, and when I came back, I did this race in Sydney Track Classic. I really felt like something wasn't right, and then sort of warmed down a little bit, and it was kind of hurting, and got a scan the next day, and I had a pubic symphysitis, which is where your pubis bone joins together. They're sort of like a muscly, fibrous joint, and that was really inflamed, which is kind of strange for a distance runner. And it's basically osteitis pubis, but they can get more specific with it now. It's not just a broad brush, diagnosis.
Yeah.
So I had that, and I had 2 stress reactions on my pubis bone.
Oh, dude! All triggered from that.
Maybe. I think it might have been, but and then also had adductor tendonitis. So
mate,
so I just couldn't do anything for a while. They just said I had to have 2 weeks totally off, no cross training or anything, and don't worry, I put on a few kilos there. And then I was on the bike for about 2 months.
So how do you find that? Because I used to always find it so frustrating when you're doing something day in, day out, and it's sort of a little bit difficult to. You're not having any time away from the sport. How do you deal with that downtime? 2 weeks of nothing to a runner who's training twice a day would be pretty brutal.
I think if you it can be pretty depressing, but I don't think I really got too down.
Yeah, sure.
I sort of just spent more time with my girlfriend and did a few things. Wasn't really too down in the dumps, although I was pretty upset because it sort of makes things difficult for the rest of the year, which it really did. It made my year pretty tough. But yeah, I was riding the bike for a while, so I got right into that. I got right into it. I did all the famous rides in Melbourne.
Have you got Strava?
Yeah.
Do you post all your stuff?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm gonna have to follow you. I've just started getting on board.
I did one time. I did a 120k ride. Around Gippsland. Yeah.
Oh, where's in Gippsland were you? That's my territory.
I was in Paynesville. My granddad used to live there, so we went to we had a weekend there over Easter, and then I rode from Paynesville to Lakes Entrance, and then back.
Just along the highway?
Nah, I sort of went, not back streets, but the country road.
Yeah, nice, man.
And then back through Meetung and around.
Yeah, Meetung's nice.
It's a big ride. I was cooked at the end.
Oh, you would be as well. Just did it by yourself, did you?
Yeah.
I've got a little race bike just a couple of months ago since I moved into the city, and I get it. I get the addiction. I've got one of my best mates. We're going away this weekend actually, and I call him the Guru. He's the other bloke I'm going away. He does like a little running news thing. We just had our first one that I posted today, and so yeah, us three are going away this weekend, and we thought we were just going away for a cruisy sort of getaway. And my mate Jocka, he messaged me and he's like, "All right, here's the itinerary. Bring your bike. We'll go for a long run in the morning, have lunch, coffee, afternoon we'll get out for a bike ride or a run or whatever, and it's lucky I like it because the longest I've done is 50k.
Yeah.
And I felt like a hero when I did that, and I was pretty cooked after 50, so 120 bloody knocking around.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't like I just didn't go out one day and do 120. Like I built it up a bit.
Yeah, sure.
I was riding this thing called Zwift. Have you ever heard of it?
Zwift? No.
Zwift. It's like they have them at the VIS, but usually you just get on a wind trainer or whatever. I was on a watt bike, but you basically got a big TV screen in front of you and it's virtual racing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I have seen these. Yeah.
And I was mad about it. Like, it's made people. Apparently, people have like changed to triathlon because they get hooked on Zwift.
So Zwift is just the game that you're playing.
It's honestly like a game. Yeah.
Mate, that is the best game that you could possibly play in terms of health and fitness, hey?
It's actually like, here's me, I'm like a runner, but I'm like all up and about cycling.
No, it's good, bro. It's refreshing. I want to hear it.
Yeah, but like it's pretty cool because you can, obviously like it's not the greatest, like it's like kind of graphic-y video game sort of thing, but you can like ride on the World Champs courses and like Tour de France stage and like Central Park, all these crazy things. Like it's pretty cool. So yeah, I got so into that.
That's unreal, man. That's like, so funny.
I'd try and ride on the weekends, but the VIS is closed. So I'd like, there's a couple of places in Melbourne that have like Zwift with watt bikes. So I'd like drive like an hour to go and ride on one of them.
Man, it sounds like. Have you heard of that virtual golf?
Yeah, it's like that. It's like that. Yeah.
Yeah, the way you explained it made me think of that. So I've like recently since I finished running, it's so funny trying to fill your calendar up because I've done 77 stand-up comedy gigs this year.
Really?
That's like my new thing.
Really?
Bro, I'm addicted, man. And I know it so specifically because
you get up and do like a
little 5-minute set. So
that's awesome,
bro. So like it's hit and miss, but obviously with 77 of anything, you're starting to get better.
Yeah.
But it's honestly just funneling that running energy towards it because I used to love getting up and just being able to go for a morning run or whatever, and have something to really target that energy towards. And do, like, I swear, comedians, they operate in the same sort of world as what runners do. They're obsessed.
Yeah, yeah.
And I set myself a goal at the start of the year that I wanted to do 100. And, bro, 23 to go. So I was at a Bucks last week, man. And it was so funny because I was just walking past a room and I knew there was it's called Speakeasy.
Yeah.
It's on Flinders Street. Anyone who's there on like a Friday or Saturday night, go and check it out.
Yeah.
It's run by this bloke called Roy Malloy, who's a star, and he looks like he likes to party. Do you know what I mean? He's a really interesting cat, but in the best way. Anyway, I was with 8 blokes, and I walked past, and it was $50 a ticket to get in. So I was like, I'm just going to run up and take it out because I think I know a couple of comedians here.
Yeah.
Anyway, Roy came downstairs and started talking to the boys. He's like, boys, just come up, check it out, have a look at what we're doing. You'll like it, but if you want to leave, that's fine. I won't feel offended or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there's 120 people in the room, and I was thinking, man, this is unreal. And we were just having a little glass of wine at the back. Anyway, like all my gigs, bro, are in front of people who don't pay to get in. It's free. Anyway, there was a really cool vibe in this room. The boys were loving it. And Roy Malloy comes up to me. He's like, Tice, you're up in 2. And I was like, no, Roy. Like, no, mate, like, don't do this. And anyway, long story short, he introduced me, and it was like a little break. Dude, it was...
Yeah. Did you get the crowd up and
dude,
yeah.
It was like the best night I'd ever had. It was honestly, ever since then, it was... The only way I can explain it, it's like running a massive PB.
Yeah.
And it's so funny, man, because I always wondered what I was going to do after running or where my like energy and attention or whatever would go.
Yeah.
And that's my version of like this Zwift on Watt or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I just get so obsessed with it.
And that's funny because I remember, like we were saying before about the Joe Rogans, when I was on the bike.
He inspired me.
I was listening to him, and it sounds like, is it Roy Malloy?
Roy Malloy.
Like he would talk about people at the comedy clubs that would like push you into, to get out of your comfort zone and stuff. It sounds like he's like, Roy Malloy's that guy.
Dude, he is.
Like he probably threw it on you a little bit, but that might have been what you needed.
100%.
Yeah.
Honestly, I felt like it was the start line of a race, but my heart was pumping. I was so scared. And I thought, I had 8 mates there, so I was like, it's the kind of blokes as well where if you're bombed or if you're killed, either way it's going to be hilarious.
Yeah, yeah.
But man, it was a cool sort of vibe. But the comedy scene's weird.
When's your comedy special coming out?
Oh, bro, funny story for you. So, do you need to be out of here anytime? Like, if you need to go in there,
you're good.
just tell me if you got to run, bro, because I'm on a roll now. So this Roy Malloy guy messaged me the day after. He goes, mate, that was good. And I was like, thanks, man. He goes, long story short, he goes, mate, next April, he goes, I'll give you the room for free, give you the equipment for free, whatever. He goes, let's go, we'll go 50% in your tickets though. He goes, come and fill up this room, like 120 seats or whatever. And I was like, so I'm tempted to try and get 120 people together for like an April debut. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, do it for sure.
I might do it, man. I'll let you know if I do.
Yeah. Get a few down there,
bro. 100%. It's just I shouldn't have talked about that now because now everyone's gonna help me again.
That's it.
But what about yourself, bro? Like I've just made that about me the last 10 minutes.
Right,
what are you doing? What are you doing in your downtime? I mean, it's apart from Zwift on what?
Well, I don't do that anymore, but it's actually kind of I really enjoyed it, but it's good to be off it as well.
Yeah,
because it was just it's not running. Like, I know what I'm here to do, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Downtime, not much. You gotta. That's another thing with running. It's like I might only need to be on the ball for 2 or 3 hours for the day. So you got to learn to be able to do nothing as well. Not nothing, but like I read a lot.
What kind of stuff do you read? Like what do you read?
Right now I'm reading this book called Range by David Epstein.
Okay.
It's the guy that wrote the Sports Gene. I'm not sure if you've heard of that, but I don't know. It's not It's like a bunch of anecdotal sort of stories that sort of lead towards the point that it's better to not be too specific in whatever you do in your life, and all these stories about how people are just generalists.
Yeah.
And dominate a specific field.
Yeah.
So they talk about the engineers at 3M. This is one. He's got there's 100 of these examples that go into his books. But
what did you say it's called?
Range.
Range. Okay.
Yeah. But he talks about this engineers, all the engineers at 3M, like they pump out loads of they're not just sticky tape. Like and they say that the most successful engineers don't specialise in anything.
Really?
Yeah, they sort of pull bits and pieces from other people and stuff like that. They said this guy set up a big program that sort of crowdsourced problems that they couldn't figure out, and sometimes it's extremely complicated chemical engineering problems, and like some lawyer would figure it out just because they might be looking at it from a different angle or
interesting, man.
Different take on things. So I'm reading that. It's actually pretty interesting. Some more about that
Sweet. So what other good ones have you read lately?
What else?
Do you use Audible at all, or you just read?
I read. I got a Kindle.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah. So you 40-year-old woman in you. People give me a bit of stick for it, but
what about your Kindle?
Yeah,
mate, I got a Kindle up on that bookshelf there.
Oh, there you go. Got a few books there. It's all right. Yeah. What else am I reading? Oh, well, I've read that. I'm reading that at the moment. What have I read? I've read a bunch of this book called Flash Boys, but because I studied business in college, so a bunch of books about business. It's kind of a little more boring. I read The Big Short.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I read it.
Man,
Flash Boys is by the same author.
Yeah, sweet. Have you seen the movie as well? The Big Short?
Yeah.
How good is it?
Yeah, it's good. It's actually the movies, unless you're pretty well versed in finance, the movie's definitely better. The book's very complicated.
Yeah, sure.
I studied business for 4 years, and it was like a lot of it was over the top of my head still.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, far out, man. That's cool.
But read a bit. Read a lot of Hemingway back in the day.
Did you?
Yeah, got through a bit.
What do you like?
Islands in the Stream. It's pretty good.
Yes.
Pretty sad.
What's that one? I've read Old Man in the Sea.
Old Man in the Sea.
And I started, about 4 years ago. I started that one about it's like a 23-year-old dude. He's away at war. And what's that called?
I started that one.
For Whom the Bell Tolls?
Yeah, he's in Italy. He's in England, Australia.
That's
Italy,
right.
Yeah.
Is that what it is, For Whom the Bell Tolls?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or is it A Call to Arms?
Dude, it's one of those.
They're both about, one's about the Spanish Civil War, one's about Italian Civil War. I think it's Italian Civil War.
Okay. Yeah, sweet, man. But he's a classic then, eh? So you like some of the classics as well?
Yeah, a little bit. We had to read heaps of it in college.
Yeah.
Villanova's a Catholic school, so I had to take a lot of courses that are just all sorts of reading, a couple of theology courses. We have these ones called culture seminars. So you basically, one's called ancient, one's called modern.
Yeah.
So you just take like maybe 30 books throughout, it's basically First Testament through to the death of Christ.
Yeah.
And then that's ancient. So it's basically Old Testament.
So you mean so Book of Genesis or whatever, all the way to the end of like the Gospels. Or whatever you say.
And then the moderns is like from year 1 to everything after AD.
Yeah, far out.
And so then you get a bunch of everything, even up to like 1950 sort of stuff.
Well, how did you find the Old Testament kind of stuff? Because it's like if you've got a good teacher, it's some pretty interesting stuff there. But a lot of the time, I think people read it and just go, "Oh, okay, I don't really understand."
I wish I had the other way around. My ancients teacher, I wish I had for moderns.
Yeah,
and because he was like a PhD in math. So basically, at Villanova, all the teachers sort of teach these. It's predominantly reading classes.
Yeah,
but this guy was like very methodical sort of dude, and it was kind of a bit boring.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, the Old Testament is like difficult to wrap your head around. Some of it, it's just very different. But yeah, I mean, you get a lot out of it. Like definitely.
Do you know Jordan Peterson?
Yeah,
dude, he's got like a sick Bible series on the JB Peterson podcast or whatever.
Yeah.
And just he looks at it more from not like a Christian, like a pastor's perspective, but more as like someone who's just interested in mythology.
Yeah.
And man, it was such an interesting, such a crazy, interesting sort of series. I got a background in the church a little bit.
Yeah.
But to hear it from a bloke like this, just looking at it from like a mythological perspective.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, like, why haven't I heard this? This is still super interesting.
I've read his book, 12
Oh,
Years
yeah. Yeah, sweet.
It's pretty good. I actually watched a little thing on him, and that it would seem that he's like not religious.
Yeah.
And whenever they ask him, he just says, I don't want to answer. I don't think I don't think it's relevant to anything. So it's always good because, people love picking sides and whatever. It's good to just hear people have an opinion and, not pick a side in the fight.
Yeah,
nice.
man.
Yeah.
I've noticed the same thing actually. Like I've heard him be. I think it was on like Q&A.
Yeah.
Someone said, "Oh, do you believe in God?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's pretty much just said what you said. Like, what's the point of the answer?
Yeah, I know.
Dude, yeah, interesting, man.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Seriously, bro. I won't hold you up. We've gone for like an hour 15 or something. I think.
Really?
I'm so glad that bloke
Stop drilling.
Yeah. That'll be good. At least in the intro now, I can tell people just put up with 15 minutes. Thanks for stopping by though, bro.
No worries.
That was cool, man. That was fun. Yeah, bloody oath. Well, man, touch base. Like I'll try and do with you. Like you're gonna run a few domestic races.
Yeah. So I'll do. I'll actually run a road race not this weekend, next weekend in Queensland, Noosa Bowl, and track race up there as well. So
mate,
I'll do those two.
You're looking good, like the Noosa Bowl 5K, isn't it?
Yeah, I've won it before, so hopefully.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Right.
Won it in 2017.
What did you run there? What time?
14:12. But it's kind of a slow course.
Okay, sure.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of U-turns and stuff, isn't it?
Have you run it?
No, never.
Never
run
heaps
it.
of U-turns. It's like just over a K for a lap, so you just...
Big Stewie and Grego and stuff going to run it, or?
No. Pretty much the same guy. Dave McNeil might run it, actually. You remember Dave McNeil, don't you?
Yeah, 100%. I was on Runners Club the other day watching like his training from 2016, the lead up to the Olympics.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him for a while. Yeah, sweet, man. That'd be good.
Yeah, so...
That'd be a good race.
Should be good.
Bro, before you go to Europe next year, though, we'll do this again.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, bro. Well, thanks for stopping by.
No worries, mate.
Cheers, yeah, that's good. Dude, sweet.